Candlelight Vigil, the day of remembrance. I want to thank Millie Cologne, who is the Vice President of the 4-1. I also want to thank Ms. Regina Cameron, who is an adopted foster mother for over 30 years. Amy Burney was a victim of domestic violence, and that is why Crusade for Children's Rights started. We had a street fair called Give Your Child a Hug Day in memory of Amy Burney. And so with that being said, that was the beginning. And this is why we're here today, because there's a lot of Amy Burney's that is in this world. Children like Maurice Cosme, that died in the custody of a foster agency, like St. Dominic's and Shirley's Carter, who died in the custody of New York Family Hospital. They are still being allowed to receive contracts. We're talking about multi-million-dollar contracts these agencies are getting to foster our children. Maurice's biological mother's name is Ashley, okay, Cosme. This brutal beating of the death of her son is still under investigation, and there's no arrest have been made, authorities say. But the biological mother, Ashley Cosme, said she knows who to blame. Cosme claimed that St. Dominic's Home, a Rockland County foster care agency, this one right behind us, 853 Longwood Avenue, St. Dominic's, foster agency placed her son in a Yonkers home of Cynthia Roman without doing a background check on Roman. And this is according to the Bronx Supreme Court papers. So if a foster child dies in a foster home, your case will be founded and you'll never be able to foster or adopt the child again. So the same policies needs to be implemented when it comes to the foster agencies. But this is what foster children go through every single day when they're being shuffled from home to home to home. I've been a foster parent for 25 years. I've been a foster parent. I went through 2 agencies. One was Family Support System. I worked there for 14 years. The second one was Grand Wyndham. And I worked there for about another 7-8 years. Many of you know BCW, that's what it used to be called, but now it's called ACS. BCW is the Bureau of Child Welfare. Now they changed it, now it's called ACS, the Administrative Children's Service. Over 25 years, nearly 60 children resided in my home, all ages, except infants, because I was a working foster parent for the city of New York for 34 years, now retired. Finding homes are difficult. Not everybody wants to adopt a foster child, or even harder, finding homes for the teens and the young adults. The caseworker happens to be there, Mr. Dan, I will never forget him. My mom asked, "Why are you down here?" And he said that we said that I'm looking for a home for Jonathan, a home for, so my mom told him that I have his 3 siblings as a foster parent, so why don't you have my daughter, Regina, which is me, to take Jonathan in, because she's already certified. So he said he would look into it, and he looked into it, and I became Jonathan's foster parent when he was 3 years old.
My nephew was killed. I heard for that. My sister, his mother, is hurting. Is in the hospital right now in a coma. Not because of that, but she has one less child that could rob her in that hospital bed. Every parent that is gone to another world, for whatever reason it was, Jonathan means a lot to us. 30 years means a whole life, and he's gone, thanks to those bullets. We had Tiara in the Hunts Point, taken down by bullets. We just had Yvette Jeffries, killed at Bronx Latin School through bullets. Just a week ago, we lost this girl at my grandson's school. How do you think I feel? It makes me feel like everywhere I look, somebody has somebody lost, or is it me? But I'm very grateful that God has given me the strength to unite and fight. And the fight is not ended. We will hold responsible. Yes, we're gonna hold Jeffrey's killer responsible. Don't lose faith. We're here to fight you. We're here to make war. We're here to make acknowledgement. This is not gonna go away like a bird or fly that got killed. No, my sister, we will fight for him. Jeffrey is in our lives. He will not be forgotten. So with this, thank you all. Stay home safe and always be protective of yourself. As you see, a bullet has no name and a gun is picked up by anyone as young as 12 years old. Please be careful. God bless you all. God bless.
The gentleman here is a nag enforcer. He's also going to make an announcement. He goes out and he takes his time out into the community.
This is for the children. Please, sweetheart, everybody, please, take a program. We're going to start. My wife was the one who got me into foster care. And Amy Burney died in May of 1998, and we did a street fair for her. And that's the beginning of the Crusaders for Children's Rights. It took place in front of the Kingsbridge Armory, which looks like a castle. And we were the Crusaders, and as you can see by the poster, my wife has the shield on her back, and she shields the children from abuse and neglect, the double dragon-headed, or the double-headed dragon of abuse and neglect. 2 life paths of a child. Any child that could be abused by their birth parents, and then the foster agencies being paid to protect them. And we're going to start off with the opening song by Carlos Santana. Scene 1, a happy celebration of a child by expecting loving parents and the joy it brings. If you could hit the music, maestro. And it's represented by Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. Scene 2 is, of course, when the neglect and abuse begins. Sometimes a loving couple turn on each other because of internal demons or the struggles and frustrations of daily living, trying to make ends meet. Example, our loving husband is belittled at his job and he can't take it out on his boss. So when he gets home, he takes the anger out on his wife and children. And a child who is thrown away as garbage, as you heard in the other song, previous song, learns to abuse others. So we're going to go with that song. And this song is represented by Hell is for Children by Candlelight Vigil. 2 lives of the child. Scene 3 now is, of course, when the foster agency in the city steps in. The abuse begins by foster agencies that are paid to protect the child by moving them from one home to another. It's very, very hard to be a foster parent. You are dealing with children that come to you with damage. If you're dealing with damaged goods, it is very hard to pick up the pieces. You are also told relentlessly to, if you need financial help, take it out of the board check. Like the board check is like an endless amount of money. Foster parents don't get anything to foster kids. They get a board check that also goes directly to the child. And then you have teenagers, if you take them in, you have to negotiate with them because they think they're adults and they've been on their own for so long that they don't know how to follow the rules and regulations of a decent home and go into school, which is what happened for Miss Gina, because she had to work. She had to work and be a foster parent because they was only allowed a board check. And due to the hardship placed on the foster parents who are under-equipped to deal with the stress of raising a broken child, plus underfunding by the same foster agencies who have the budget but delay paying out to collect the interest on the state's money. See, that's another thing too. My wife could testify to that. I could testify to that. There is so a lot of the children placed in us have social services paying for things, and when they get taken away from the home, the services don't follow to the foster agency, and Social Security supplies transit for a lot of children, and they were entitled to it because they were getting those services when they were living with the parents, but then the parents, of course, fall off the wagon, and the children are taken away, and they're placed in a foster home. But those services don't travel with them, and what do they say? Take it out of the board check. No, they can do the paperwork and have it transferred to the foster parent. But they don't want to do that because the paperwork takes a long time. And a caseworker I got to give them their credit, they're overwhelmed with more than 15 cases of children. And that's insane that somebody's got to deal with 20 to 25 kids, and which means you're dealing with 20 and 25 parents and 20 and 25 foster parents.
Everyone, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Osorio. I'm the state committee member on the 79th Assembly District, senior parent advocate, and I believe this is a platform that's necessary to have. We need to support the unfortunate disenfranchised young individuals that lose their lives while in care. This is something that we, the community, needs to be aware of that does exist, and we need to be able to show our support. We have some of our vendors out here, of course, 41st Precinct Council, of course, being here.
Miss you, baby Joel, Isaiah Joel, miss you. May you rest in peace. I wanted to say something because Jonathan, I was talking to Miss Regina. Jonathan is looking down. I just feel he's looking down. He's smiling at us right now. The sun just came out for like a split second. And I looked up, right? I looked up and I said, wait a minute. And I said, Jonathan is saying, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for not forgetting about me.
So he was saying thank you like he always do, with a kiss, hug, and a smile. That's how he was all the time. When we never disrespect me, always was a good kid. We just ran into the wrong people. But he just came out and said, thanks, Mom. I saw the kiss and I saw that.
And we miss you, JJ. That was his nickname. JJ. They're looking down on us right now and saying thank you. And, you know, I know that this day is going to be remembered. And even though it's just us that's here, I thank the Department of Social Services for coming out today. This is a start. This is a start for changes. Because you got to start somewhere to advocate for changes.
We will have those that stand up for child care, for those children that we have lost in the hands, as well as for those that work for the system. The system has failed us, and I as a parent will not stand for this or allow this at any form, shape, or way. No, it will not happen in my community. I will do everything with everyone that unites to help this situation disappear. We stand up for these children that go into foster care, are abused, are killed. And that's the end of the story. No, it is not the end of the story. We do have advocacy for it, and we will speak up on these agencies.
When you go home, and you're at your house, and you're safe and everything, think of the children. Think of the ones who are no longer with us, the young ones. Children are supposed to bury their parents. Parents are never supposed to bury their children. So, it's very deeply saddened when we have to bury our own children. That should never be. That's not the way God made the human world to be. Parents born children, and then the child takes care of their parents when they become old people, and they become children because they're stubborn and they want to do whatever they want. And we all have parents or grandparents that we have to struggle with. And then they pass on, and then you carry the torch, but they're never forgotten. They always live with you. And the pain goes away, but the love is always there. Love, yes, great love here. One love, God bless us. So we're gonna go to the last song that my youngest twin picked. We Are the World.